you say pa 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 da pa 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 da pa 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 da pa 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 da pa 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 da pa 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 da pa 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 da. Crazy at this thing called love, just what I've been dreaming of. And I can never figure out, oh, how you do the things you do. Is why I'm so in love with you. I like the way you make me smile. Boy, you give me butterflies. And when I look into your eyes, I'll see the future in me and you. That's why I wrote this song for you. I-L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. I-L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. Just want you to know what I think of you. L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. Baby, you've got what it takes to make your girl say L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. If I met you in another life and you asked me to be your wife, with grace and a smile I say, yeah, always now and forever. You be my one and only lover. Cause I like the way you make me smile. Boy, you give me butterflies. And when I look into your eyes, I'll see the future in me and you. That's why I wrote this song for you. I-L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. I-L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. Just want you to know what I think of you. L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. Baby, you've got what it takes to make your girl say L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. Pa 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 da pa 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 da pa 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 da pa 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 da pa 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 da pa 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 da pa 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 da.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Attorney Commander Glapohkpa Chesson talk show. Today is Wednesday, April the 19th, 2023. We woke up this morning. It was kind of cold last night. You know that? So what has this day in store for us? Check your weather report, okay? I ain't going to give it to you. Check it, okay? Now, we woke up to all this gun violence in our community. Reports of dismay about the BVR electoral system. Let's go to Liberia and talk with my correspondent, Mr. Samuel Wicker. Sam, how you doing, brother?
Yeah, good morning, Rod, and good morning there in Rhode Island.
I hear you, brother. How you
Yeah,
doing?
Liberia's so bright and fine this morning.
Yeah.
The weather is so clear. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see behind you, all the light behind you there. No cloud.
Yeah.
So
a lot of condemnations from around the country on the conduct of the voters registration because most of the equipment were faulty, a couple were delayed, and unprofessionalism, by the staff of NEC, these contractors. And so condemnation is coming from all walks of life, especially from a tough talking talk show host and an aspirant, Henry Costa. Yeah, he Senatorial aspirant from Moshamara County, Henry Costa. Yeah, he said the entire exercise was just devastating. It was just rubbish and waste of resources. And they have been supported, and it's been supported by other folks around the country. So they are waiting to see what happens the next phase if they brought in new equipment. But we have not heard of next bringing new equipment. It's the same kind of faulty equipment that taken to the other counties. And you imagine 9 counties. So if you have problem with 6 counties, then what about the 9 counties in the rural parts of the country where roads are deplorable and the citizens there are not educated to the kind of biometric system? So we are waiting to see.
I heard them interview her this morning on one of the talk show hosts, the internet talk show hosts in Liberia, show in Liberia. I think it was the morning show. Some of the show, one of the shows there, they were talking with they were Edda Brown Lasana, and she was saying that they were dispatching all the equipment of country now. They were going to Banga, Nimba, and all the Lane County areas to take it. So you think they're going to face the same problems?
Yeah, sure, but there have not been nothing fixed. The same kind of faulty equipment they are being dispatched in the counties. So what you expect? You in Monrovia, in the capital, where you have access to the kind of modern equipment and technology, and the machines are so faulty. Then what becomes of those in the interior, where some of the areas are not even accessible? You walk or you ride bicycle or bike to enter some of those villages. So it's just going to be terrible.
So what's the atmosphere in the country?
Well, people are hopeful that the election will take place, but some are saying that it won't be free and fair. Looking at the problem being faced by NEC, and it has not been corrected, so people are afraid, security issues.
What do you foresee with regard to violence?
Chaos. I foresee chaos in this country.
Why?
Seriously, because it's in fact yesterday or the day before, the Peace Island community woke up in the morning to hear that their leadership are saying that they will buy 5,000 colaces if government want to relocate, if our government want to evict them. Yeah. So just what I'm telling you, 5,000 colaces from the leadership of the Peace Island in Congo Town behind the EGS.
To fight.
Yeah, to fight government if they evict them. What they are saying, the government has sensed that most of the people there wouldn't support them.
Wouldn't support them in terms
Either the election in terms of voting for them for the current government. Yeah, and they are threatening that even if government try to steal result, it will be serious problem for them. So the security situation in this country, people are complaining. We are not safe. People are killing. In fact, girls are dying every day. You have a death news. Partners killing their friend, boyfriend killing boyfriend, girlfriend, and all that. Yeah, so it's getting serious. So one or two instances where this guy beat his girlfriend, and what she did, she didn't go to the police station. She just went and bought right person, and person is fool. Can you imagine that? So the killing in Liberia is getting too much, it's getting worrisome. So what more if election come?
What happened to her? She in jail?
She escaped.
She escaped?
Yeah, escaped to Cote d'Ivoire. But my nigga girl.
You kidding me? So I mean, the murder and the impunity level in the country is just bad.
It's very grave, very bad in this country. So boyfriends are getting afraid, girlfriends are getting afraid. Even married couples.
Have you all heard about?
They are getting afraid.
Have you all heard about the situation involving Ralph Yarl?
Ralph.
Ralph Yarl, the Liberian community boy who was killed in Kansas. He wasn't killed. He was shot. And right now he's home with his parents, recuperating. He's getting better. He was shot in the head and in the arm. You haven't heard about this case in Liberia? Sam? Hello? Well, apparently oh, shit.
Yeah, the breaking call just coming from all people. I know. About breaking up.
You guys haven't heard about Ralph Yarl?
Oh, I've not heard it.
This all week it's been going on. It's on CNN now. It's all worldwide news. This young 16-year-old boy in Kansas City, his mother is a Liberian, and his mother sent him pick up his twin brothers at a house, and he missed his house. The house, she sent him to 115 Senatorial, and he missed his place and went to 115th Street, a house on the street instead of terrace. And he knocked at the door, and this old man came out and shot him right through the door in the head. And when he fell, he shot him in the arm.
Yeah, I heard that. It was a Wednesday on BBC, but it was not in detail. So if I in Liberian news, you can hear it. You can hear on Liberian news.
Well,
so
that kid, he was shot, and he went to the neighborhood houses for help. People refused to help him.
Yeah, man.
He went to about 2 or 3 houses before the fourth house told him to lay on the ground, and they called for the ambulance for him. Can you imagine a boy shot in the head and in the shoulder bleeding? He bleeding out.
Who shot him? Who shot him?
An 84-year-old man called Andrews. The boy went to the wrong house. He was going to pick up his brother. Okay, and he went to the wrong address. He was supposed to go to a place called Terrace. He went to Street.
So even if the child makes a rule, I mean, something like what they call in.
He didn't even break the door in. They say he just knocked on the door. The white man came, falling through the glass, shot him in the head. When he was falling, he shot him in the arm. He said he was scared of the ball. He was scared the ball going to attack him.
That boy attack you way in there.
Yeah, that is
racism.
That is they call stand your ground.
But racism, that's.
But when they got these states that permit you to use guns to defend yourself, to use violence to defend yourself, instead of calling the police and the authorities, these people are killing innocent children in the name of being afraid of them, in the name of being afraid of being attacked.
You didn't see the child with arm or anything?
Well, I mean, young 16-year-old boy, man. So he was.
To most of it.
God bless the boy. The boy is home, recuperating and getting better. But you never heard it.
No, I said, yeah, heard tip on BBC and later on Liberian news, nothing. I've not heard it. Everything Liberian is just politics. I've not heard that kind of news from the States.
Yeah, even on the internet, I just heard 1 or 2 people talking about it, but I didn't hear.
Yeah, you see.
Talking about it either. Everybody talking about politics.
Politics in Liberia.
Yeah.
They are preparing for the election. This kind of chaotic scene we are seeing nowadays in Liberia. Don't know whether this election will be free and fair or whether it will be violent free. That's the question people are asking. But most parents are saying they won't leave the country. And when the election is, just around the corner, they will leave because they foresee chaos. And it's serious. We want to keep himself in the power, and they always don't want to get him out at all costs. So that's the situation in Liberia. It's very chaotic. Liberia is getting, fearful.
What's your personal? How you personally feel for your security?
Liberia security now is at stake, at risk. You can call all that. There's those. For me, the country is not safe. That's why we're very careful how we walk about. I tell you, by 6:37, I'm home. Liberia is no safe. Nobody wants lie to you. Liberia is not safe at all. This country has gone backward. Like when the coup took place, New Day, you can't talk against government. You will be killed. You will get missing. That's why we are experiencing nowadays in this country. So I mean, Liberia is not safe at all.
The whole system
Even the
going
even the Americans are giving their citizens warning. Broad day, they will attack you and take your phone, your personal belongings, and police in the personal police, they won't take action. Can you imagine that?
So what are the Americans saying to the citizens?
The Liberia is not safe. If you come to Liberia, if you keep around the city center, don't go in the outskirts, don't go when you go in the hinterland. People that know the community must take it there. So be very careful. That's the kind of one. If America warns you like that, then what do you expect investors coming into the country? Liberia is not safe at all. Insecurity in the country has engulfed the entire country, not just Morovia.
That's true.
You know, and the drugs, they just keep coming. So you arrest drugs every day. They arrest drugs, but you don't know where they, where they take them.
You don't know.
Yeah. You know where they take them because they'll lie and say they're going to burn it, and they won't burn it. And you see it back in the market or in the ghettos.
I mean, the dishonesty in our country is so bad. You can't trust
So
them.
bad. You can't trust anyone. It's very serious.
But Sam, how did our country get so bad?
Yeah, because they're in the wrong hand. They're in the wrong hand. On the administration, it was much better off. You had control. Why it's true that you had United Nations here, you have international security here, and it was kind of moderate. But nowadays,
and I see Ellen Johnson said it that told us that George Weah was the future of Liberia.
So that
wasn't that the same Ellen Johnson Sirleaf who told us that George Weah was the future of Liberia?
So she was making a big mistake, and she made that mistake, and we are feeding the impact, the negative impact of mistaking, of mistaking identity that we could be.
Do you think Ellen Johnson Sirleaf was mistaken or was it deliberate?
Well, mistaken or deliberate. Yeah, but she saw the population behind this guy and thinking that he could be the right person. So I would say that it was not deliberate, it was a mistake. She felt from all corners, the support that we had.
Do you think that Ellen Johnson Sirleaf was facing investigation, especially for our oil money that her son stole? And she said she responsible for it, and all the other that will go on.
She gave reason why NOCAB or went bankrupt. That ExxonMobil and the other oil company from the states from Texas, they pulled out because they were supporting NOCAB, and so because they withdrew, they pulled out from the country, and that's why, and then NOCAB went down. But in fact, they had not discovered oil. It was just signature fees and exploration fees. That's what they were operating on. So she's saying that NOCAB did not break down because of corruption. NOCAB broke down because ExxonMobil and the other company left the country.
Now some guy accused of stealing $10 million.
Well, I don't know, but NOCAB was not audited. So in Liberia, when people observe that things are going bad, they say you corrupt, but you are not being investigated. We know that corruption is going on, but it must be investigated to give account of whatever resources that you mismanaged or misappropriated.
But if she's not permitting the investigation.
Okay, so you see, so she's trying to putting her neck on Chairman Bogo for Gafwan, for the other guy, for Robert Salim and stuff like that. So she contributed for even George, yeah. So she contributed to this problem that we face today.
Yeah, but look at George, all his government officials have not exposed their wealth or whatever they got. What do you call it? They have not declared the asset.
Declare the asset. They have not declared the asset.
The same stealing. So
5 to 6 years going on there. Nobody had declared asset.
How do we know what money these people came to government with? And how much they do it?
And Ellen said we have to publish the turnover note So we are saying that he never met money in the coffers, in the government coffers, but he said no, money was there. So can you please print the publish the 10-1 up and now? Government of Liberia under we are administration has not published the 10-1 from Ellen, administration. So who do we believe? Whether the money was left there or not? So auditors are being killed. So why must you kill auditors? Because they want to expose things.
That's why our country needs to be war. Argument. Let me do my class.
Yeah. So you see, you asked about the election and our security. I'm telling you, if the international community can, ECOWAS especially, must send in observers, military observers, not just civilian observers, because when hell break loose, it will be dirty. The entire country infested with a lot of armed zogos. I'm all around here every day you hear, but I'm shooting single barrel shot, single barrel gun. It's just all over, and we gotta pray that ECOWAS, make a decision to come to this country, or than that, Liberia will go back to the dark days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah. So that's it for now. Hope that we get a very good news tomorrow from NEC, because the equipment are all faulty and I think they're back in the interior. From a statement, if ECOWAS, I don't know whether they haven't received the money from government yet. The 10 million that requested, government is still dragging. 2 minutes of finance is saying there's no money. And so let's hope and see what comes out of what we have, tomorrow.
Well, from the report in the newspaper, the NEC broke down all the money they received so far from the government, and I think they said they still got $25 million left of all the money, because the total amount they were supposed to receive from last year election to this year election supposed to be $53 million. And out of the $53 million, they have used X amount of number of money, and there's a balance. So for that balance, they haven't received it yet. So how are they going to operate on this second phase of the election? God,
that's the question.
If they can't get the money. But the part about it is, with these 40 equipment. With all these 40 equipment, how are we going to deal with it?
That's the question of how we're going to deal with it. So with the technical team, the mobile team, to support these centers in the rural counties, how would that happen when most of the equipment are still faulty, and you left them faulty and taking it in the interior? Well, it's really up country. So even the solar power is not effective according to sources. So how would that happen? We don't know. We still want to see what comes out of it. Hoping and pray that it's okay, because the time is against us.
Well, I will address some part of it during my lesson. Okay, Sam.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Be safe.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me just take a coffee break, and I'll be right back, and we can get into the nitty-gritty of all these things we've been talking about that go on in our country that needs rectification, straightening out, and fixing. So, here we are again, facing a violent situation in our community. What goes around comes around. When you're living in a country like this, where we face consistent racism, we're facing consistent hate, we're facing consistent violence, especially against one minority group, it will come around to us sooner or later. Sooner or later. As long as you have children, as long as you're interacting with the greater American society, whatever is going on in the society as a whole that impacting the society, you can't say you avoid it. You can't say you training your children good, they're better than other children. You can't say you know your children, they will not do this, they will not do that when they go out. You cannot say those things. You have no guarantee. Nothing on the wall say you can prognosticate the future. That means you can tell the future. You can't. So as long as things are happening in the community that impact the greater American society, it will impact our community too. It will impact our children. Liberian people are an integral part of the American society. Look at since our war. Since 1980, we'll be in this country. And since 1999, we migrated to this country more than ever before. We got a whole nation of Liberian people in America right now. So there is no way that things will happen in the greater American society that it will not impact our community. And this is why we tell you all, every time I come on the air, I talk about you all the time. I tell you, do not stay in your community. Do not think that your Liberian community is a safety network. That because you're there, you with your Liberian people, you and your children safe from the atrocities, from the dangers, from the violence of the greater American community. You're not. You're not. You're not. Because as long as your children got to go to school, as long as you and your children got to go shopping, go to church, interact with the greater American community, you are prone to confront whatever the general community is confronting. Sooner or later, you are prone to it. I remember those days when you would come to America and they say, oh, don't mingle with these people. Don't do that. You get in trouble. Don't do that. It can't happen no more. It can't happen no more. Why? Because when you involve in the society, when you're part of the society, you can't avoid the things that happen in the greater American society. The only thing you can do is to work with groups and organizations in the society that want to make our society better, that want to make all communities better. And you think you're not involved in the greater community, you'll be safe in the Liberian community, and only you and your cousins and the people from Liberia will be safe. It's not happening no more. It's not happening. It never really happened. You know, we try to bring ourselves together in a community association or body of organized Liberians because we can access things in the community better. We can access health care, we can access school supplies and equipment and demand things for our students in the school system. We can ensure that they're protected from racism and hate and all the negative things that go on in the school. That's why we form community groups. So our community group can serve both as a pressure group when we need to pressure the government and society to do things to help us, or as an interest group when our children are being maligned or hurt or segregated against. We serve as an interest group to say, no, stop. That is a pressure group too. So we can serve as both interest and pressure groups for the interest of our society. But if we're not organized, we're not together, it's harder. It's harder. The first thing when I heard about this kid being shot in Kansas, when I heard about Yarl being shot in Kansas, the first thing that came to my mind is, what's the relationship between this family and the Liberian community? Are they involved in the community? Does Rav and his family go to meetings in the community? Do they participate with other children in the Liberian community? Because these are the things we suffer from. People stay away from our community. They say they don't want to mix with Liberians. The Liberians, in all kind of things, they don't want to get involved in. You may be right. But in America, the greatest advantage for protecting your community is being in a group, having community organizations, being able to access people in 1 minute. And you can only do that if you already have a community organization. You're meeting, you're protecting each other, you're looking for school benefits and avenues to open for people in the community to learn and excel. If you're not doing that in the community, then you're failing yourself. You're failing yourself. Because how did we know about Rav Yarl? How did we find out about him? I heard one Liberian saying they heard about him because the black celebrities, Hughley, and all these black celebrities who are in tune with Black lives in America were talking about it. So they heard about it. So that means that these people in Kansas have no access to our community organization. There's a Liberian community in Kansas. There's a Liberian community organization in Kansas City. Because the first thing I did when I heard about Rav, I went online to find out if there was a Liberian community. And I saw some website or something. So my question begs to ask, is this family involved with the Liberian community? Or they just like these families that come to America and feel that they don't have to get involved with the community, that once their lives are going good, once they're in school and the children are doing well, they have no need to help the Liberian community. They have no need to find out who in the city have a community of Liberians. Where is the community of Liberians? They don't care, because in America, you don't need the Liberian community to exist. But in times of trouble, in times of situation, when you need help, when you need to access people to give you support, that's when you need the community. And if you don't have that community with you, you got problems. Look at Raf's situation. I have not seen this thing on the internet. This thing's supposed to be on the internet. All over every Liberian website was supposed to be talking about this boy. Why are we not talking about him? Why it got to hit CNN and everything before we show concern? Is it because the parents are not involved with the community? In the United States of America, you need community to survive. In the United States of America, you need a group of people with similar interests, similar view to protecting themselves and advancing their own goals and interests. You need a group of people that have common interests and know the importance of coming together. If you don't know in America, you will suffer. You will suffer because before you can access help from the general American community like the NAACP and all the people, you got to answer questions. You got to answer questions. They got to weigh your need to the other Americans' needs before they can help you. They will not jump on and help you. You're not from their community. Yes, the NAACP is there for everybody. But if you're not in tune with the interests and people involved with the NAACP, your interest will not be given the kind of concern that you needed to be giving. So that's why it's good to have community. Because your community may have access to other body of philanthropic groups that you may not know about. But when you involve with the Liberian community, you pay your membership dues. You don't even have to come to a meeting. Just pay your membership dues. But you don't pay your membership dues. You don't come to meeting. You don't get involved with the community. When crisis like this happen to you, who do you turn to? Who do you turn to? Because when things happen there, when you call the community, nobody know you. Why would people give up everything not to come help you when you were in the state the whole while, benefiting, enjoying, working, making money, and not sharing it with the Liberian community? Everybody needs help in this country. Everybody needs help. So if you think you come into America and God bless you to benefit from the fruits of this country, and you don't join other Liberians to say you want to work together, you want to make sure that your future is secure with other Liberians, when things happen to you, which they will happen sooner or later, you will not have anybody to turn to. You'll be by yourself. That's why community is very important in America. You see, I don't teach a lot of politics because I like to deal with the realism of life. I like to tell my people the realism. We come to this country, we think we're big shot, we get America open, no, you will lose. In times of crisis in America, you need a group to connect with, to speak for you, that got outreach, that got connection. You don't have that kind of connection in America, you will fail. You will suffer. People will not come to your help like that. How long it took people in Kansas City to bring young Yarl kids to the news. That boy been dancing. I'm sorry, why I keep saying that? Sorry, I think it's because it's shooting. You know, every time you think about shooting, you think about death related. But that boy, he was just injured, and he's home right now. But how is the community responding to him? We know that his aunt has been out there, his mother, whoever is, pushing his kids. So this man who shot him can get his just deserve. People fighting for justice. Because you can't just shoot a child like that. That whole child's future is dim now. It's dim. Because when you shoot somebody in the head, what's the possibility of them regaining full consciousness of themselves? How did that bullet impact that boy? You're talking about destroying a child's life. That's when you need the community. You need people to fight with you. And Liberian people, you got to understand the significance of community, of brotherhood, of friendship. We got to avoid this tribalism. We got to avoid this great division among us. Because I know Liberians care for each other. I know if anything happened to one Liberian family, other families will come to help. You see, but we pretend too much that there's a great divide among us. And we cannot continue to pretend. We cannot continue to pretend or act stupid or behave like we don't care when we know we care. Because of our nature, we care. But we can't continue to pretend and act as though we don't care. So my people, this is the whole situation involving this Yarl case. Let me rest my case on this thing. When you come to America, it's not the olden days. Even in the olden days, where people came, they try to avoid community. They try to avoid other Liberians because Liberians were involved in too many illegal activities, too many frauds to make quick money. So people were scared to join other Liberians. But nowadays, America has changed. It's not the old Liberia, it's not the old America that you have only a handful of Liberians here. Right now, we have thousands and thousands of Liberians in America. So our concern and our issue become significant because we can't rely on a bigger community. And right now we are a big community of children, elders, and all these things. And we will interact with the greater society on some level, either on a social level or criminal level or negative level, some level. When I say negative level, our children will be getting in jail, being mixed up with gangs and things like that because we don't have a society and a community to breathe life into them. So they grow up with a greater community and behave like people and children in the greater community. So that's why we need community organizations. And Liberians need to get involved with it. Because through these organizations, we can help the less fortunate. We can help the less educated. We can help the less professional and bring them up to levels where they can exist and enjoy life legally in this country. We don't have to be illegal citizens in this country, do things negatively to get fast money. We don't have to do that. But we need community to give us that direction. We need community organization to help us when we need to find ways of doing things and we think there are no other ways. We go to the community. There are people there that have been in this country for long that can show us the way to make things easier for us. You see, that's why in America they call that networking. They give it a term today, networking. Because you know you got to network with other people to achieve a better life in this country. Okay? So that's my case with this Rav Yarl. I just hope his family involved with the Liberian community in Kansas because even though they were successful in having this man arrested, it took days for this man to get arrested. The police didn't even go to this man's house. But because of the activism of the community, the noise they were making, they went and arrested him for 24 hours. Then he filed bail. Now the case coming up. This family will need the support of the community, whether they know it or not. So this is important for us in America, that we see the greater good of unifying ourselves than constantly fighting on tribal lines and negativity. Okay? Aluta. Continue. Let me take a break. I'll be back with my next lesson. Okay? Because we've got to take care of each other. Man. We all got. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to hit that. Okay, let's look at Mr. Costa, Senatorial candidate Henry Costa, and others complaining about this biometric voter registration system. My people, let me tell you something. For us in Africa, who want to emulate or follow people in the Western world or in the industrialized world, with things they do to ensure fairness, equality, and justice in their country, we got to have the means of production to do the same. If we don't have the means of production, the things that people do in their country, we can't do it in our country. The equipment they use in their country to do things in their country, we can't use it. Why? Because the more the West develop and we remain stagnant or underdeveloped, we cannot access the things that they have consistently changing over time. Nothing in America stays the same. When they put out new products, other companies making better products to make money. That's the capitalist society. That's why things are constantly changing, especially technology. Computers, they're constantly changing because People constantly making faster, better things. Okay? People want things fast. They don't know sometimes things, when they're too fast for you, you can't understand it. But they still want things fast. So when we in Africa, we don't finalize the initial stages of things and perfect them and want to move to the next stage of a most advanced era. We fail. We fail. We had the old voting system where everybody went and vote, registered. Physically, they took your picture, you get your card. We didn't perfect that system. We still have problem with the voting rules. The voting rule not clean. This not clean. We never perfected that system of voting. We never straightened it out. We never corrected it. Then somebody came and said, oh, there's a better way of doing it. You don't have to do it that way too hard. Let's use the biometric way. So we said, oh, bring the people, let them talk to us about it. The people come talk to us about biometric system. We don't understand the intricacies of using those systems in a third world country that is not as developed or sophisticated as America and the other big countries. We don't know. So those people come, they tell, oh, this thing they work when you do your fingerprint, it will be throughout the system, and then by the time come and do the fingerprint again, the computer will detect it and will kick them out. Those were some of Costa's argument. Besides the faulty equipment that we're talking about, equipment not working, people not properly trained. We're talking about the equipment itself not meeting the specifications that they're supposed to meet. Why? Why did they call it biometric system? Because it deals with life. It deals with your fingerprint. Okay? But those systems can't work in Liberia effectively. They cannot work. Why? I pointed them already on my page, on my Facebook page. There are two requirements or requisites. One, you must have electricity, fluent electricity, flowing 24 hours, no inconsistencies. You must have a backup system. If the electricity is not flowing 24 hours, you must have generator connectivity so that as soon as the light go off, the generator will kick in and come on right away. You must have that kind of system. Why? Because for the computer to work as you want it to work with a biometric voting registration system, the computers must be connected nationwide or countrywide. So if you're doing your biometric vote registration in this county, anybody in this county who come to vote twice, the computer will pick it up right away. One, because the electricity is running 24 hours. The computer on 24 hours. Two, the biometric system can work because anybody who put their fingerprint there, the computer has the electrical power to pick it up right away, to do its work and identify who is voting twice and kick them out of the system. But how will it work in Liberia? First of all, we do not have computer connectivity in the country. That means computer networking. You hear about networking. That means all the computers that the government owns in the computer in Liberia function in one central system. All the information from all the computers in government go into one central system. Okay? Like in America, when people do networking, they connect all the computers in the building. So when I type something here, People can access my page and see what I type in. I can send it out to everybody in the building. Everybody will receive it. So that the same thing with the biometric equipment. When you got equipment, it's supposed to be working 24 hours. They're supposed to be non-stop in the computer system. So anybody that come and put their finger there, it will pick it up right away and identify you or not. But in Liberia, we don't have 24 hours electricity. You got people carrying dynamo oil in the interior to do election. With dynamo system, you cannot connect all the computers in the country, in the government agency. You can't connect them. There can be no networking, computer networking. Why? Because no electricity. When there's no electricity, you can't get internet connectivity. So the biometric system cannot work effectively. Because if people, when they finish voting each night, they got to shut up all the dynamos and things. They got to move all the equipment to another area. Then they got to sit down and go through all the things. It's just as not having a biometric equipment. Because what they usually having a biometric equipment when we got to do a cleanup. After every election, we got to sit down and go through all the lists of people, see who fingerprint match, see who. That's when you put the data from one computer into the other computer to see if the data are the same. Because the computer will not be able to share data if there is no electricity. There is no networking of computers. How you share the data? You can't share no data. So the whole biometric system is a failure. It's a kaput. Because after each election, we got to sit down again and clean the voter roll. We got to clean to see who all voted twice, who all registered twice, who all got the same fingerprint. That way you can check it again. Maybe you can set two computers by each other and connect them through networking, and they will pick up all the people who got the same fingerprints, all the people who got the same signature. That you can decipher it by putting computer by computer. But if you're in an area like Masurado County, and you got 10, 15 registration area, you got to bring all those computers together in one room and connect all of them together so that all of them can put the data in there of all the fingerprints that are similar, all the signatures that are similar. Then you can decipher and make a final list from the networking on the computer. But if we don't have those kind of things in Liberia, we got to go back to the old way of voting. We got to go back. If our electrical system is unreliable, we cannot use voting system that relies on electricity and computer connectivity to do what we want to do. Yes, you can fill out all the information on your phone online, but the main thing is it's the machine that takes all that information, the computer, that you put all that information in. If they're not in the same room, networking, they cannot do the job that a biometric voting registration machine is supposed to do. So that's the fact of the matter. Okay? We can cry all we want. We didn't perfect the whole system of voting. We didn't perfect it, and we moved to a new system that we don't even have the clue of, that we don't have the means to support. When you say biometric, that everything that electricity is the foundation of everything. Electricity. You got people running to rural area with bikes and things like that. No electricity to those places. So there's no way that we can guarantee that people will vote once and not vote again. Look at right now, the NEC is complaining about 18-year-old on age. I mean, people just turning 18, immature, who go into different places to vote. How will they check on those people? They can't, because those computers are not connected. That's what they're saying. Don't go different places and vote, because I mean we got to take down all the computers and put them together before we can find out who voted illegally. Okay? My class is done, people. Attorney Commander Yarl Glapohkpa Chesson's class is done. I hope you understood everything I said. And it's time for me to leave. Young Yarl, we hope you recuperate well. We hope that bullet in your head will not affect your mental capacity and abilities. God bless you and more power to you. More people, my class is over. I'm out of here. Have a good day.